This is the first time anyone is attempting a continuous stand-up paddle expedition on the Brahmaputra. Roughly 450 kilometers stretch, no motors, just a small team of paddlers taking it on ourselves. I have paddled before on mighty rivers like Ganges, Godavari, and Kaveri, but this is totally different. On the Brahmaputra, nothing stays the same. You look at a map, and by the time you are in the water, it's already wrong. Channels split, merge, and disappear. You don't choose a route here. You read it and hope you're reading it right. This whole thing did not start on the Brahmaputra. It started in Chennai, Kovalam Beach. That's when I met Shivaranjani. She is an open water swimmer with a record. She had not done stand-up paddling before, but she had something that you cannot train easily: intent. So we started training slowly, not just paddling, but getting ready for something like this. Because on a river like Brahmaputra, strength alone is not enough. Somewhere along the way, this stopped being just an idea. It became a team. There was Naushad from Assam who knew this river better than any one of us. Prajit, a doctor and someone I trusted on SUP expeditions before. Abhijit, experienced, steady, someone who does not panic easily. Karthik, stepping into something like this for the first time. And me, Kumaran, who spent years exploring rivers on a stand-up paddleboard. We were all coming from different places, but we were heading into the same river together. We reached Assam on February 19, 2026. We landed in Dribugar and drove straight to Oba Wildlife Reserve. By the time we got there, it was almost sunset. We camped on a river island, and even before getting into the water, we were walking close to a kilometer across exposed sand. That's when the river starts telling you what you're dealing with. Low and shift water, shifting channels, nothing where you expect it to be. From the beginning, I was clear about one thing: we did not need road support. So we planned for two boats. The larger one for deeper channels, carrying our gear and inventory, and the smaller one for shallow stretches where the big one would just get stuck. Because out here, it's not about moving fast, it's about not getting stuck. Day 1, February 20th, 2026. We started early. The current was with us, and we moved fast. In about 3 years, we had already covered close to 25 kilometers. For a while, it felt smooth. Then it shifted. One of the boats gave away. Heat, pressure, and it just failed. We adjusted and kept moving. But the real problem was not the equipment. It was the river. By early afternoon, I realized the support boat was not with us anymore. They were in a completely different channel, almost 20 kilometers away, diagonally to our right. On this river, that's not just distance, that's a disconnection. They had already gotten stuck multiple times in shallow sections and were forced to stay in deeper channels, which kept pushing them further away from us. That's when I realized if we continued like this, we would be on our own out here. I had to make a call. We could keep going and drift further away from support, or we change our route and try to reach the land before dark. I chose to reroute. By 4:30, we knew the boat was not reaching us. Signal was dropping, light was fading. We had no tents, very little drinking water, no proper gear for the cold. That's when it hit me. This is where things can go wrong. We pushed towards land, found a small fisherman's shelter, gathered wood, started a fire, and then moved into the village. Naushad had managed to get word across. The locals received us, gave us food, gave us space. That night was not planned, but that's what this is. Day 2, February 21st, 2026. That morning, around 12 villagers came with us. the same people who had given us food and shelter. They helped us get back to where we had left our kayaks and paddleboards. That kind of support you don't plan for. As the expedition leader, I had to take charge again, get the team back together, get us moving. We regrouped with the support boat and moved through a wider stretch of the river. This was Brahmaputra opening up. Stronger currents and a real sense of scale. We crossed the Unshakeable Bridge, one of India's longest rail-cum-road bridges, stretching close to 5 kilometers. And from the water, you feel how small you are. That day, we did not chase distance. We just reset and moved forward. Day 3, February 22, 2026. We were paddling through a broader section of the river. Out here, navigation becomes everything. You are not following a fixed path. You are reading the river and looking for the markers, local poles placed along the river. They show you where the deeper channel is. Miss that and you are stuck. By late morning, the wind started picking up. This region had not seen rain for months. Everything was dry, and then suddenly changed. The wind built up and turned into a sandstorm. Visibility dropped. Standing on the boats became unstable. Even the water started reacting. I spotted a sand island about a kilometer ahead. We pushed towards it, and just as we got off the water, the wind hit harder, 30 to 40 knots. If we had stayed in the river, we would have been separated. That would have turned into a rescue situation. For those 2 hours, being covered in sand, it felt like we were in Arrakis from the movie Dune. Then just like that, it settles. That's how this river works. Once it cleared, we reassessed. I asked the boat to take a longer line, stay in the safer water, and avoid the shallow crossings. We covered barely 5 to 6 kilometers that day. Later we moved into Dehing Muk region, came across a green island and decided to explore it. It turned out to be a part of Dehing Patkai, what used to be a wildlife sanctuary, now Assam's 7th national park. No people, just river all around and silence. We set up camp there. By then, I had built a good rapport with the boatman. We followed the same routine, collected firewood, identified drinking water, and settled in. We caught fish from the river, made chutney, even pulled greens from the land. Simple food, but after a day like that, it felt complete. On some stretches, we did see river dolphins surface, just for a few seconds and disappear again. Birds resting along the sandbar and long distances where there is nothing but water and wind. Day 4, February 23, 2026. We covered a long stretch that day, part of it on our boats and part of it on the support boat. By evening, we reached Saraguri. It was one of the Ramadan evenings and the village was preparing for iftar. We visited Ajahn Peer Dargah. The locals let us use their space, their facilities. That kind of hospitality stays with you forever. We sat with them, played carom, just slowed down for a bit. From where we camped, we could see Chinese fishing nets in action. One of those days where the river lets you breathe. Day 5, February 24, 2026. The river opened up again. The current worked with us. We covered over 30 kilometers that day and we reached Kokila Muk camp near Jorat. We stayed at a camp run by Manas, someone I knew from earlier work. It was properly set up. After days on the river, it felt different. That's where my part ended. But the expedition didn't. Shivaranjani and the support team continued for another 5 days without me. And honestly, that meant more than finishing it myself. Because this was never about just one person. It was about building something that can move, even when I step away. All of this, the months of preparation, the planning, it was for something bigger. To show what human-powered water sports on a river like this can look like. To open this river up the right way and move towards sustainable ecotourism. For the people who live here, to see the Brahmaputra differently, not just as something they cross, but something they can experience. This expedition is just a start, a seed that I am sure will grow. This journey changed me, not in a dramatic way, but in how I look at control. Out here, we don't have much of it. You make decisions, you adapt, and you keep moving. You don't conquer a river like Brahmaputra. You learn to read it, you learn to respect it, and if you are lucky, it lets you pass.